Goes by very, very quickly, right? Let's grab our seats and we'll get started. You definitely want to pay attention to what you're about to see. So, hey, how did you like Eric Worre? Huh? Yeah, great guy. Eric and I go back about 30 years. I mean, can you believe it? We were just talking about that here recently, and it's great to reconnect with all kinds of people, especially all kinds of very successful people. So, hey guys, one of the people that has been very instrumental in our success is and it just kind of happened again. One of those things that just happened was the introduction to Eric Z and his team with Helium Track. And as soon as we saw the software, we knew and met the guys behind the software, we knew that they were going to be a perfect match. And that was something that we needed in order to make iHub Global the company that we all expect it to be, because it's, this is not guesswork, it's science, right? And we're going to, and these guys have just done an amazing job. I kind of gave Eric the handle of being the wizard, right? Because he's kind of the wizard behind everything. So I want you guys to give it up for the wizard as he comes up here and explains a few things. So, Mr. Wizard.
Love the music, huh? Of course, I come up right after Eric Worre, right? Come on. So, what's up, all you iHubbers? Yeah? We got some energy here? All right. Well, here at iHub, we're all about the future and the opportunity that comes along with it. But before I talk about the future and what that has in store, I want to share a quick story with you guys. I'm going to take you guys back a little bit, and the year is 2011. I was 23 years old, and I was just introduced to this really interesting techie concept thingy. You know what it was called? Cryptocurrency. And that's really what it was. It was more of a concept. And I immediately became obsessed. I started learning everything that there was to know about this kind of concept. It was really interesting. And it didn't take more than a couple weeks before I took about $15,000 of my savings, which obviously there was not much left after that, being a 23-year-old entrepreneur. And I took that $15,000 and I dumped it into some Bitcoin mining rigs. And I started learning about how to build them. And I spent weeks putting these things together, testing them, configuring them, optimizing them, and overclocking them, all these techie terms. Pretty sure I almost burned my house down a couple times in the process. Pretty close to it. And before you know it, once I got everything just right, I was mining at about 2 Bitcoins a day. And to tell you the truth, yeah, it was, this is back in 2011. So to tell you the truth, I was ecstatic. At the time, keep in mind that Bitcoin was right around the same price that HNT is now. Well, actually not now, because it's just skyrocketed. So we're happy about that, right? I am. So, anyway, I was super excited and I couldn't shut up about it, obviously, this whole new thing. And I'm telling my friends and my family about it, kind of like we're doing right now with iHub and Helium. And so obviously, all my friends are like, Eric, you're completely nuts. You have no idea what you're talking about. Crypto, what? There's no such thing as virtual money or digital currency, right? And I'm sure that you guys have some people, in your group or circle that are just like, all right, get out of here, right? Well, that's how you know you're doing it right. You're going out to everyone and reaching out to everyone. So sure enough, everything's working out and I'm mining at about 2 Bitcoin a day. And all of a sudden, Bitcoin tanked. It dropped from about $22 down to under $1. Meanwhile, I'm paying about $1,000 a month in electricity costs. And before you know it, I'm in the red. And so this went on, for another few months until I let those people, right, that said, Eric, you're nuts. There's no such thing. This is a fugazi. You're wasting your time here. And sure enough, after a couple months, I decided, you know what? Maybe I am. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I just took all this risk and time and completely just wasted it. So what did I do? I shut down my miners. I sold off the hardware for pennies on the dollar on eBay. And I sold off that Bitcoin. Well, here we are today, right? And that Bitcoin that I mined in just that short period of time, right? It was probably about 6 months, would have been worth over $40 million right now. And had I continued mining, who knows the astronomical numbers that would have been. So why am I telling you guys all this? I mean, I've kicked myself enough, and I'm not looking for any sympathy, guys, all right? It's because I want to share with you guys the one thing that I learned from this whole experience. And I want to share that with you guys. And what is it? What I believe, okay, guys, is that it's all about early adoption. It's all about being first. It's all about finding those cutting edge opportunities that you can capitalize on and that you can execute. And that's exactly what we here at iHub are all about. We're about delivering those early adoption opportunities and layering them with the right software, the right platforms, the right tools, the right training, right? The right marketing, and giving you guys the right foundation to execute those opportunities. And that's why we're super proud to announce an entirely revamped iHub platform for you guys. We've been working very hard behind the scenes, tirelessly, and it's a platform that takes the entire iHub ecosystem, the entire iHub world, and brings it all under one roof, along with Helium Track, right? All of the analytics and all of the training and all of the marketing tools and all of the insights, and it brings it all into one seamless, easy-to-use system. And I want to go ahead and show you guys a quick little demo of what that looks like. We put together a little mashup video. If you guys can just throw it on. All right. We got a lot more to add, guys. Thank you. I mean, the work never ends, I'll tell you that. And listen, they might call me the wizard, but we have an amazing tech team, Brandon Liss, Jeffrey Brown, John Krim. These guys are really the brains behind the brains. They don't stop, okay? They were working even here at the event tonight. So what I showed you guys here, it looks, kind of technical. But more importantly than all of the insights and the tools, right? All of these analytics and the planning is the execution, right? The deployment of our hotspots. That's where the real juice is. So I'm pleased to also say that that's exactly what we're prepared here at iHub to start doing. We've developed a robust deployment board that not only cycles through and scores all of the reserved hotspot locations using our intelligence algorithms. But it's also built to scale for our massive deployment schedule, which we're going to show to you guys a little bit later here tonight. As of this very moment, we currently have over 600,000 reserved, intelligence-approved locations in our system, and our systems didn't even flinch. So that means we're ready to scale. We're ready for you guys to continue doing that execution and bringing more people into iHub. But with this new rollout, we've created an even more effective process that allows all of you guys to officially lock in your hotspot deployment. Through this process, you'll be able to get your official hotspot deployment number and lock in your place in line. And if you're here attending this event, you guys are going to get first access to that. All right? Yes. In the coming weeks, we look forward to deploying our iHub hotspots to the community and rolling out new powerful features like the iHub Marketplace, which Rick spoke about, and you got to hear from some of our really talented partners. And we're also rolling out some pro landing pages and funnels, okay? And we also have a new feature that we'll be rolling out called iHub Assist, which is a tool that's gonna go to work 24/7 on behalf of every affiliate. It's an intelligent tool that's gonna follow up and communicate with your downline, always elegantly pushing them to the next step, helping you 24/7. So we're really excited to bring that to you guys too. The work that we do here at iHub, it's never done. It's truly, our truly talented team will continue working tirelessly behind the scenes, ensuring that every iHub member has the latest opportunities and the latest technology right at their fingertips. In a couple minutes, you guys are gonna get to hear from some of our funding partners, okay? And I gotta tell you, these guys working also behind the scenes, there could have been no better, no more talented group of people, right, to raise the capital that we need here at iHub to deploy our hotspots. Not just raising the capital, raising the right type of capital, something that's sustainable for the long term. And so we really want to feed that hungry demand that you guys all have here at iHub. So after that, we're going to be also diving in on how you can lock in your hotspot. Me and Rick are going to show you a little bit of that process and how you can get that 0001 deployment number on our deployment board. And we're going to follow up with some strong webinars and training to make sure that your teams get everything that they need in order to understand this process. So with that said, I want to bring up our funding partners from Kronos and from Jord Capital.
Ooh, something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control.
How's everyone doing tonight? Hello? How's everyone doing tonight? Fantastic. We're so pleased to be here. So our company is called Jord Capital. We're a private equity fund, and we've come alongside iHub because of the growth and trajectory that we've seen them go through. We're very excited about what they're doing and believe that we can bring the corporate and infrastructure capital to achieve the goals that they're looking. Now, we've heard all this exciting news tonight about 200,000, 300,000. I think the last word was 600,000 affiliates have signed up and are waiting for miners. That takes a tremendous amount of capital. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that need to come in behind iGlobal to achieve their success. And we're here to do that for them. So without ado, there's not a lot that I'm going to say except introduce the rest of my staff and then let Tom be able to tell about the rest of the company and the lease program that we're supporting behind them. So with that,
Yes, my name is Rich Horn.
Nick Studebaker.
Tammy Taylor.
Thomas Galliard.
and so this is our team. We're an operational company, which is Kronos, and we have our private equity fund, Jord Capital. And so we believe that we can achieve what we're doing here and be able to roll out this program in a system and fashionable manner. We're very excited about some of the institutional groups that we've put up behind this and the manufacturers that have come on board to be able to do this program with us. And we could not be here without all of you. So this is a joint effort on the success that you guys have brought to the table. We believe we can catapult it to the next level. So with that, I'm going to talk about hand off to Tom to talk about the lease program that we've implemented a little bit, and then we're going to turn it back over to Eric unless there's any big questions from the crowd. Questions? Okay, so. Sure. So our company, what we are doing is we're putting together the capital to be able to finalize the larger purchase orders and bring in the equity behind it. And we were looking for equity that would be subservient to what the iHub's already done in the marketplace with favorable rates to be able to achieve what they're doing without taking away from anybody else that's put in the market. So as far as bringing the capital and bolstering those units in the manufacturing, yes, that's the answer to your question. Does that answer your question, sir? Yes. Correct. So our firm is in negotiations with all the manufacturers. Tom is our in-house legal compliance and attorney, and he's been part of all of those conversations. The question was, are we in direct contact with manufacturers and finalizing contracts? And yes was the answer.
I mean, I can report that I was up till 3 o'clock a couple of nights ago working on some of these contracts. So. And we finalized some of them just yesterday. Ilya and Rick and I were in one of the conference rooms here, finalizing things, sending money out to the, getting the deposits and so on. So, you know, we're working really hard to secure as many of these hotspot units as we can.
So, Tom,
so I think there was a question about how George has been working with iHub. I would just like to say I'm on the board of iHub, and I have the pleasure, I would say, of working with 3 of the most talented people that I've seen. And I've had a 30-year career in corporate securities at very large law firms, and I've worked with a number of different Fortune 100 companies, you know, large private equity funds, and you know, companies that are startups that have become, you know, fairly valuable enterprises in different areas of business. And this, I would say, the iHub combines, in my view, not only the you know, cutting edge technology, the combination with cryptocurrency, which you know, one of my strengths is I have a long career in fintech and banking in addition to corporate securities. And this iHub has combines and melds the new technology, the disruption using the internet, the IoT products that we saw earlier today. And by the way, I worked on all those contracts to try to finalize them. And I think that this is really going to be a fantastic opportunity for anyone who's involved, including all the affiliates, all the VIPs. And I'm very excited, I have to say, to be involved and to be so directly involved with so many talented people. I can't tell you, I may be up at 2 o'clock in the morning, but Rick, Ilya, Eric, the whole team, and our team here, we're all working 24/7 to make this a success. So you should be thrilled that to be part of it, just as I am. I would like to say, as we talk about the lease program, because we've now secured a number of these iHub hotspots, we decided to create a program that would allow us to actually disseminate those in the most efficient way. And we've created this lease program, which I think Rick and Eric will get into the details of. But it's a fantastic structure. You know, we've from not only a financial standpoint, but also from a value creation standpoint.
I think that pretty much concludes our part here. And I really want to say thank you for allowing us to be here. And if there's any other questions, we'd be glad to talk to you after this. So with that, Rick, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Guys, we brought Jordan Cronus out because we really want you guys to meet these guys, interact with them. Yes, they're putting together the capital structures for us, but these guys are partners, man. They really are. And I can't say Tom and the entire team, they're up there working tirelessly for you guys as we secure these hotspots. And so, are you guys ready to see what we've been able to do? All right, good deal. Eric Z, let's throw up the deployment board first, all right?
Yeah, let's go.
So we're going to show you guys some things. Now, we're giving you a very high level today. Our breakout sessions for this event are Tuesday, Thursday webinars. So if you're watching virtually, they're already on your dashboard. Register for those because Eric's going to start breaking all this stuff down for you guys. But we want to give you a snapshot today and then give you an opportunity to be first on that deployment board. So Eric, go ahead and tell us what we're looking at.
Sorry, I just logged out. Just a moment, guys.
Eric, this is our side, our deployment board, right?
That's correct.
So you guys are going to have a forward-facing deployment board very
yes.
soon. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is our internal deployment board. As I said before, we have over 600,000 reserved locations. Those are locations that have been input.
You said earlier, right? You're cutting through the jungle. You guys are troopers, man. We've cut through some jungle to get here, right? All right, now we're on that bumpy road. We're going to be bump, 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 bump. So that's the next phase for us. It's not going to be completely smooth, but I'll tell you right now, guys, we're about to scale this thing to a whole nother level. Okay, so this little startup team that has done a fantastic job is about to go to another level, and you guys are going to be a huge part of that as we start to push out these hotspots. So this week, again, register for those webinars because Eric's going to break this down for you and show you exactly what your deployment board looks like. Okay, so Eric, let's pull up our secure. Tom talked about the POs. Yeah, we signed a few of them yesterday, right? We've signed a few of those POs yesterday. We still have a couple 100,000 on the table too. So we're going to show you guys our deployment schedule. Go ahead.
Yeah,
pull that up.
Absolutely.
All right, so this is what we're looking at, guys. Now, with you guys understand there is a supply chain issue, okay? But this is what we have secured under POs right now, okay? That we're processing funding. Okay, so this is when our deployment starts. Now we have a free deployment, guys. You guys have heard about that? Now listen, my biggest mistake was never telling you what the deposit was. I'll say that right now, okay? Now I'm gonna bring it to my partners over there, but they're putting a lot of capital on the table for us, guys. And we need to get these things plugged in. We need to get these hotspots mining, okay? We got to do a better job, right? We got to do a better job in the field. We got to do a better job at corporate, giving you guys the tools to get them plugged in because we have a lot of hotspots that are not plugged in, okay? And so we're going to do better and better. But what we're really proud of is you guys, some of you VIPs and others, have the highest ranking hotspots in the entire People's Network, okay? As high as 300 to 400% higher mining HNT than the field. That's remarkable. Give you guys a hand for that. So, as we start this deployment, okay, Jord Capital's put another option, okay? Now, they are requiring a $500 deposit, okay, on the free deployment. You guys have that option. We're going to go through that in just a second. But there's another option. They mentioned the lease program. A lot of the VIPs were part of this, developing this program alongside them. I'm extremely excited about the lease program. I think it's a great option, and we're going to walk you guys through that. So this is the deployment board. So Eric, let's show them how they get on that deployment board.
Absolutely.
You get 00001.
Absolutely.
Okay? You guys are a little bit at a disadvantage if you're sitting here because all those other virtuals are sitting on their computers right now. Okay?
All right, guys.
All right.
So all of you guys who are here at this event, you guys are going to actually start using our new system, which is our new back office, right? And so the first step is, well, once you've completed the other steps, is we have this new process right here, which is locking your hotspot deployment. All right, and once you go to there, you'll actually see a couple different options, and you can choose the right one, which is for you. And you'll see that each one comes with a voucher for an entire antenna for, it's either 5.1 or an 8 dBi antenna, is that right?
That's right. So these are the two options. This is what you guys are going to start. This is how you get on the board, guys. You lock on your spot. You can either go for a deposit. You get the miner for free. George's going to have your deposit that's going to be held, okay, while you have the equipment, or you can lease the equipment, okay? $99 down is going to lock in your spot on a deployment board, and then once it's released in January, okay, it's $18 a month, $18 a month. And the coolest thing about it is that 10% that you got for hosting before is now 25% from day one, okay? No more requirement to get 5 people. Guys, we don't need any help marketing. Okay, you run mining assessments, this thing works, right? It's the easiest thing in the world, right? So we're going to lift that requirement and automatically go to 25%, and the ROI is fantastic for our host and our affiliates. So we're extremely excited about that option, but you have 2 options to get on the deployment board, and both of them, the 300 to 400% higher mining that we have in our network is because of antennas. How many of you guys have installed a few antennas, right? I've seen them on poles, I've seen them on buildings, I've seen them everywhere. right? So we're putting that into our business model because we know that's what's going to keep us on top of the game. Does that make sense? Okay, so $99, but you're getting an antenna set. So in the next couple of weeks, if you get on the deployment board, if you want to lock in your spot, you have a qualified address, you're going to get a code. You're going to go to a redemption site, choose your antenna. If you want to add some other things on there, you can, but it'll be shipped to your house. The idea is you get the antenna installed, and the miner will come and be delivered, okay? Make sense? All right, you guys excited about that? Yeah. All right,
yeah.
So we have secured, I think, 210,000 units so far, 210,000 units for next year, okay? We also have, another several thousand coming in this year as well. We're just talking about the deployment from January on, and we're going to continue to add to that as Jordan gives us more money, right? All right, because we know we have 600,000 locations, we have 200,000, so we still got work to do, and we're going to continue to do that work on your behalf. So, Eric?
Yeah? What do you got for me?
Eric Z.
Oh, thank you.
Eric Z.
Oh, is that it? Thank you. Am I headed down?
All right, guys. Well, listen, we got a couple more things for you today. Stay with us. But if you guys want to get on that deployment board, go do that right now. Get it in your computer. But everybody that gets on it today, I guarantee you're going to be on that for January, okay? So good stuff, all right, guys? All right, awesome.
Day, a lot of information, probably information overload, but we'll step through this whole thing as we move forward. This next little segment is a VIP panel that we've asked to come up and just kind of encapsulate what's happening. So what I'd like to do right now is bring up and I call him the culprit, I call him the professor. I have these nicknames for everybody I like and people I don't like. And but the professor, Michael Stern, and I have known each other for about 30 years. We've traveled the world together. We've made a lot of money together. And, he was the one that threw this whole thing over in my lap about a year, a little over a year ago. And, it's again, he's one of those people that when he speaks, I listen, right? He's always led me down the right path, if you will. So what I'd like to do is introduce my good friend, Michael Stern, who is one of our co-founders. And,
Hey, everybody. Here we are. Okay. So I just have to say, Chuck, I very, very distinctly remembering reaching out to you and saying, I got to see what Chuck thinks about this crazy device. Okay. I mean, imagine this 15 months ago, hearing about this helium technology, spending time trying to figure out if this thing was for real, and saying it's for real enough to try and get some people's finger on the pulse of it, reaching out to Chuck. And I remember distinctly, hey, what do you know about the Internet of Things? Not a clue. Or what do you know about IoT or, what helium? Have you ever heard of helium? What? No, you mean the gas? And so it was an interesting thing, but I said, well, what would it be to be able to get a piece of the world's largest wireless network? And he goes, well, that sounds interesting. And that started the conversation, but we had no clue where this was going to take us. When Chuck did his due diligence, I'm doing due diligence, he reaches out to Rick, starts putting together the idea, well, hey, we got to be able to find a way to share this good news with other people, right? But we didn't have any aspiration, and I'm sure Chuck and Rick didn't have an aspiration of putting together a full-blown company to be able to go out there and really make this happen. We were just hoping to kind of put a project together. I think Rick was saying that in his notepad, it was the Helium Project, right? And as we started moving forward with some of the original people that we were interfacing with, we realized that if we wanted it to happen the way it was required by us to happen, we had to do it ourselves. And that's how it came up. And Chuck and Rick stepped up to the plate in a way that I was completely blown away by. And frankly, I was still trying to figure it out. I was still vetting it. And then here we are. It's been crazy cutting through the jungle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been wild, but you know what? What's today, Chuck?
We're
Day one,
right.
okay?
Day one.
Everything led to where we are today. And if you would have asked us even 6 months ago, we would never in our wildest imagination have been able to understand the trek that got us to where we are. And we are so extraordinarily excited. And I hope you are all too at everything that you've been seeing today. And again, there's a lot more than can be shared in these little short time segments that we have. But what we want to do right now is we want to bring up several of our VIPs that have been really out there hacking through the weeds, hacking through the jungles, making things happen, learning the real world of putting hotspots out there, putting antennas up, making this happen, building teams, dealing with everything we're all collectively learning together, right? We are the core. We're the ones that are rolling this forward. So if we can have all VIPs come on up. And we got Paul Seaman here, John Seaman, Scott Tunis, Jeff Evers, Matt Turner, Ed Getty, Sean and Barry Kay, my good friends.
There you go. Don't sit on it. Don't sit on it, Mike.
Oh, okay.
I hate when that happens.
Musical chairs.
Musical chairs. Okay, so here's what we're looking to do, guys. All right? I mean, we've all been going through today collectively. You know, I am learning a lot of this stuff at the same time the rest of you are, and we've all been on this journey together. We're all learning this kind of thing, and a lot of you have a lot of firsthand experience. You've got a lot of amazing background in this industry we're in, so this isn't your first rodeo, okay? So the question is how are you feeling about all this? You know, what is it that got your attention, and what is keeping your attention, and why are you here today? So I know, Sean, I'm looking at you, but I'm thinking I really want to save you for towards the end, because we talked about filling in anything that we wanted
Michael,
to cover.
let me start this out with
Yeah.
Scott. You know, Dr. Tunis and I have a patient-doctor relationship, right? He's the one that is responsible for my 2020 vision. And great guy. I've been going to him for 20 years, right? LASIK surgery, and then lens replacement surgery. I'm pretty much bionic all over. And, you know, I said, you know what? Scott's going to be my first guinea pig, right? And so I called him up and I said, hey, I got this little machine that makes money and it won't cost you anything. How about if I put one in your house, in your office? He said, bring it on down. And so that was the beginning of everything. So Scott is an ophthalmologist, right? And in Wilmington, North Carolina, my good friend. And so Scott, take it away.
Greetings. I'm flattered and humbled to be on this stage with all the speakers that you have seen, because this is not my world. My world is eye surgery. So your first question might be, what in the world is this guy going to tell me that I don't know? And I'm going to try to speak to our online audience a little bit more than the VIPs, because you guys are probably way ahead of me. But I'm not a information specialist. I was not a crypto expert. I'm certainly not a network or sales and marketing type person. You know, you listen to Eric and Rick and you want to run out the door with a machete and start hacking away. So I have to give you a little different perspective. So for me, in my life, looking backwards, and maybe for you, what I recognize is some of the best experiences, opportunities, and relationships are things that you never expected that would happen to you, that just kind of fell in your lap. But you weren't looking for them, you didn't need them, You weren't trying to achieve a certain thing. And that's what happened with me when Chuck dropped this in my lap. And initially, actually, I almost passed on it. I'm a pretty busy guy. I do a lot of surgery. I'm still very active. But it was kind of like an open door that I could see inside and just had to open the door. Just couldn't walk past it. And for the people online who are outside this industry, like I was, it's a little bit outside your box. It's a little scary. It's a little intimidating. But I think that if you embrace that and open that door and walk in, there's tremendous opportunity for you. There's great reward, both personally and otherwise. And Javier, that is not an income claim. So I would say embrace a new opportunity. Second thing is, if you look at medical advertising and doctors, every doctor is world famous and the best in the world and a visionary and an institute. Not, and they're not, but they pretend to be. In this room today, I see visionaries in this industry. My industry, there's a handful of visionaries that come through every few years. Charlie Kellman pioneered cataract surgery that we do today. It's the way it's done everywhere in the world. But it was not only his vision on how to do the surgery, because he could do it. What made his vision valuable was a set of tools that he created for the rest of us so that we could do it. A set of algorithms, a set of principles, a decision-making process that allowed me to do the surgery he invented. And that's what we have here. We have a number of visionaries who've created a set of tools that even if it's outside your level of comfort, you can use the tools and the techniques and the marketing that these people have brought to us and be highly successful. And I think you will be enlightened and rewarded and be very happy that you entered that door.
And you know what, Scott? What I loved about going up to his office, I walk into his office and he's got hotspots all over the places. He's got antennas, he's got cable, he's got everything. And he's been putting up antennas and flying around the country, doing exactly the same thing. And I said, why are you doing this? I mean, why are you doing this? He said, because it's fun, right? It's fun. It's fun again, right? And so everybody has their own reasons why they're doing something. And I appreciate you becoming a friend and part of the group. So Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, so while we're on the doctor train right now,
Right.
okay, and also there's a little bit more behind this because Scott Tunis, Dr. Tunis, and Dr. Hung here happen to be not only professional medical professionals, but they're also our first two organic golds.
Yep.
Okay, let's give it up for them. Okay. All right.
Congratulations.
So Doc, I understand that you're a cardiologist, and that here you are today sitting on the VIP panel of this crazy company and opportunity. Can you just kind of take a couple minutes and share what your gut is telling you about what you've seen today and how you feel about where we are moving forward? And if you can, right?
Hello, everybody. My name is Hung, and actually, short story. I looking for the good ideas to spread around the world, and like the heart, spread the blood into the whole body. To do that, the heart has to be strong, right? And my good friend Howie, he intrigued me, and I studied right away IoT. I love IoT, and helium. The backbone of helium behind the scene is IoT, right? And then iHub is the great vehicle to spread the helium hotspot. I combine the three and do it right away. This is a huge opportunity. And I do it fast, right away. And I think everyone in the world can do it. It's a very simple, very easy, because the honor the great man do it for us already. Every tough stuff do it already. Very simple. Thank you, and hope everyone have a great success in this opportunity. Thank you.
You know, guys, the next person I'd like you to hear from is somebody that I've known for a long, long time. We've done business. You know, this is a business of sharing it with your friends, with your business associates, with all the people that you love and you care about, right? And, you know, Paul and I have been, well, you know, involved in some business, and then, you know, sometimes we butt heads a little bit, but in the end, it all works out. Great guy, and Paul Simic from Dallas, Texas.
Great.
Thank you, Chuck. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Chuck, we've got a couple of minutes here, each one of us, and I want to get right to the point. I've been around this business for over 30 years. I've been in what Mr. Worry talked about, being positioned and having to slog through the mud and everything else. When you had nothing, you had one product. You were trying to sell something that maybe nobody else had ever heard of. If you look at what we have here today and what they presented here on day one, and consider that 99.99% of the world has never heard of iHub Global, and we're sitting here with all of these products that are proven, that are coming to us, that our partners are exactly that. We can, any one of these is a direct sales company, more or less, to have all of them with us on day one. Consider a company that started 27, 28 years ago, was a little bookstore. Now, I'm not going to compare us to them as of yet, but they were a bookstore in strip centers. And that's all they said. Who needs another bookstore, is what a lot of us said. Speed up 27, 28 years later, and look what Amazon has become. This is technology. This is the future. We are at the beginning of a precipice that can take us all places that we've never dreamed we could be, with partners that you've seen up here. And this is day one. We're taking this to the world. And anybody and everybody that has a desire has the same opportunity as anyone else to become and build generational wealth. It's already, we've got companies that we represent that are billion-dollar companies, and you're watching the HNT go up as we speak. I'm excited more today than I was when Chuck called me in the beginning of this opportunity. After what I've seen today, I can tell you the sky is blue. The opportunity is 100 times better than what we ever thought it would be. I never dreamed we'd have these kind of partners. But I am thrilled to death to say that I am an iHub Global VIP and affiliate. Thank you.
Yeah, so Ed, besides having a chance to go to the Dominican Republic to be part of a vacation with a purchase, congratulations on that. We definitely love to hear a little bit about, you know, what's going on in your heart and what's going on in your head right now.
Awesome. Well, I'm just grateful to be here with all of you guys today and with this group of very smart people. So I've not really surrounded myself with a lot of smart people, but this is the first time and I like it. But anyway, I was fortunate at one stage in my career to be lucky, and I got a business opportunity that was business for sale, and I bought it with my brother. And it was this little company called Nextel, and it's back in the mid-90s, and little walkie-talkie thing. And Nextel said to us, we want you guys to sell it and service it, and we want you to get towers up into remote places. So we started going to farms, negotiating land deals, and doing all this. But we were doing it for another company. They were paying us really well, but we were doing it for another company. So we created a lot of billionaires, and we did really well. So fast forward to just about 4 months ago, we get introduced to iHub, and we said, it's a parallel universe. It's the same exact thing. The only difference is that we have a chance to actually own a piece of it and build that generational wealth. Instead of just building it for someone else, we can actually start to build it for ourselves. And we just looked at each other. We said, this can't be possible. So we started digging in, researching. We're big due diligence people. And all the research we've done just leads us to say, whoever is here, whoever's online, whoever is fortunate enough to be part of this universe that we're living in right now, count your blessings, because this is just about the most appropriate place you'd ever want to be, with a group of people that if you're going to swing machetes with, you just met the people that are leading the charge for all of us. And I got to say, there's an A+, a first-class operation. So start swinging those machetes, because the one thing that Eric forgot to say is when we get to that beautiful highway that's paved out there, there's toll booths that everything goes through. And the people who were swinging the machetes in the beginning own the toll booths. So cheers.
Yep, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's just, guys, it's just going to take a little bit of perseverance. And for all of you that have been around for a while, you know that our heart is in the right place. We want to do this not only for you, but for your families and for the kids and Viva Kids, and it goes on and on and on. I want you to hear from someone that is new in my life, but I met him through somebody else, and that somebody else has already disappeared, like so many people do. But you know how relationships are? You stay in touch with the good ones, right? You stay in touch with the people that impressed you, and Jeff Evers is one of those guys. He lives in Iowa, right? And he was just one of those guys that I said, you know what? I like this guy. We need to stay connected. And so, Jeff, why don't you give everybody your thoughts?
All right, hey, thanks, Chuck. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Well, first of all, having me sit next to Scott is like unbelievable. You know, he graduated with honors. He's a doctor. I was in the top 1% of the bottom third of my class. My background is I'm a business guy. I went to college 1 year and found out it wasn't for me. So I quit college and bought a retail store, ended up with 9 retail stores. Then Walmart came against me in 7 of my 9 locations. Then I got into practice management. Now think this, I never graduated from college, but I got 15 doctors I'm running clinics for. And then Obamacare got deemed to be law of the land. I gave that up. And during the same process, I got involved in network marketing, did really well. And what I realized was network marketing, companies come and go. Products all got a shelf life. And what I figured out, the guys that build teams, the guys that can keep the unity, what we're doing here, it will last forever. So I get a phone call from one of my buddies in January, like Chuck said, he's not here no more. And so I'm on the phone with Chuck, I'm on with Rick, and I said, dude, let's do it. You know what I knew about this? Nothing. I didn't care. I like Chuck, I like Rick. I say, if this works, we can get rich. If it doesn't work, how many's failed us up before? Okay, I made the decision to do this because I believed in the vision that Rick and Chuck had. Then I met Michael, then I realized they also got brains. It's amazing. I mean, it all fits together. My personality is probably more like Chuck's, okay? So where's that compliance guy? I'm taking down all my videos, just so you know. But guys, here's why I leave you this. William Shakespeare said, there comes a tide in the course of human events, that which when acted upon will lead to great fortune. That tide is here. Run and run. And guess what? You either make dust or you eat dust. So what do you want to do?
Amen. Thanks, Jeff.
So it was in March of this past year that was the first road trip I took after this crazy pandemic hit. You know, and I'm used to being on the road, many, many times a month. And it's kind of nice being on Zoom, right? You don't have to go through airports, and it's changed everything for everybody. I believe that, people are used to working from home, and they are so much more open to home-based businesses to be able to fill in the gaps that outside gig, the outside hustle that people could do, that's apropos now. Before, we were trying to tell people where they're like, what are you talking about, right? So I drove up to Las Vegas. My great buddy Paul Tyrer is out there somewhere. We wanted to do a small presentation on this incredible product. And we were up the top of Mandarin Bay at the Foundation Room, an amazing place if you've ever been there. And I'm up there doing some of the basic presentation, and I'm picked a couple of units out there, right? A couple of units to look at in the Vegas area to kind of use as examples. And I'm looking at this one unit, and then there's kind of like this kind of noise in the room. And what, we had 12 people there? I mean, it wasn't like 250 people. And he goes, that's my hotspot. And so that's how I got to meet Matt Turner here. And Matt is a pioneer when it comes to this world of helium, because not only did he already know about it, but he had one of the highest producing hotspots in Vegas at the time. So Matt, you know, you came in having all that previous perspective of helium, and you decided to come aboard with us in iHub. You're seeing everything that's happening. You're seeing everything that's happening with helium. Do you think you made a good decision? Why don't you come up and share?
Thank you, Michael. Okay. Thanks. Hello, everyone. Really cool. I want to say it's really cool to see everybody out there that's online. Right. So awesome to join us. This studio is like state of the art. Yeah. So again, my name is Matt Turner. I found out about helium actually in, I guess it was the winter. I think it was like November, December of 2019. And received my first hotspot in January of 2020. So needless to say, like I was like, yeah, I don't know, let's like throw a dart at this thing, see if it works out. Start mining, you know, whatever this thing is doing. I remember a post I actually did from Facebook. It's actually funny to look back at it, but January 7th of 2020, I was like, some people are like, oh, is this the Internet of Things? I've been waiting forever for this to come around. Is it finally here? And I'm like, yeah, and they're like, well, what exactly is this? Is iota? I'm like, no, it's helium. And they're like, is it worth anything? I'm like, well, I don't know, not like it's worthless. I think there's a comment still that says it's worthless at the moment. I'm like, I don't know. Like Ed said, I'm not the brightest guy up here. I'm just glad we have people like Sean Fanning to figure out and launch what helium actually is, and all the intelligent people here at iHub Global to make this super easy for us. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, my hub's mining, like something must be connecting to it. It's mining like 20, 30 coins a day. How many people would like to be earning that a day right now, right? Right? And so, yeah, go fast forward a year later, and they have this meeting. My buddy Paul reaches out to me. He's like, hey, what are you guys doing with helium? Because I was like texting out. I'm like, hey, you guys got to hear what we're doing with helium. And I was texting out all this stuff. And Paul's like, we're having a meeting. You got to come check it out in Vegas. That's where I met Michael. And I'm sitting in the back of the room, and I'm like, this is really interesting. I'm like, I thought I was smart mining. I'm like, what these guys are doing is ridiculous genius. And then, yeah, I remember he picks, out of all the hotspots at the time in Vegas, there was probably about 50 maybe. And he goes, I'm like, yeah, that's my hotspot. And they're like, oh. Everybody looks at me. At the time, guys, it was like mining probably 500 to 800 coins a month. So that was back in the good old days. But anyway, when iHub came and put together, it was like absolute no-brainer to join something where it's like, wait, great, my miner can make 500 coins a month. Okay, it isn't going to make me extremely wealthy. But if you can get, like Chuck always says, right? If you can get 1%, or yeah, you said, now, if I can get 5 or 20 or 15 or 35% of other people's efforts, it's an absolute no-brainer. So yeah, I'm super excited, needless to say, about what's happening here. So thank you.
Thanks, Matt. You know, guys, and that's what it's all about. It's about leveraging your time. You see, when I first got introduced to this industry back in 1987, somebody asked me a question in that meeting. Hey, how would you like to earn money while you're sleeping? I said, I'm in, right? Just show me how to make money while I'm sleeping. And so that's what this is all about. And that's what we found was this crazy machine. And you're right. I look back at my records. My first machine was January the 1st, right? that came in. And I looked at what we were doing and everything. But you know what? Now that it's almost $40, it makes a whole lot of difference. Back then, it was $1. It was hard to get people excited about $1, right? And making, 10 helium a day or something like that. So it wasn't very exciting. I started buying helium at 70 cents. I wish I would have bought a lot more, but I blame my wife for that, right? Now she says, why didn't you buy more? And I said, because you wouldn't let me. So, hey, John Cini, and we don't really know one another, but he has always been right there doing everything and always engaged, always involved at all of our VIP meetings that we have, and somebody that I've really come to appreciate because of his expertise. And so, John, a little thought about today and what's going on and all of those things.
Great, thanks so much, Chuck. I appreciate Chuck and all the leaders. It's really incredible. There's so many humble people up here. It's kind of mind-boggling. I was just thanking Dr. Tunis because he did an amazing video way before I joined the business, and we've all been using that video to show the credibility of this, right? Don't we owe him a big thank you?
Right. Yeah.
I came in here in the middle of May and I saw that video and I said, man, we've already missed this thing. We're too late. And a lot of people might be sitting there saying the same thing. We've already missed this. We're too late, but we haven't even scratched the surface yet. That's one of the things I loved about the IoT presentation today is that all of the ability to put machines to work for us is coming. And that's when this thing is really going to take off. I mean, the number of companies that are using the Helium network right now is still very tiny. Even though there might be dozens or hundreds of companies that are using it, we still have a long way to go. So you're in the right place at the right time. I just asked Mr. Cotton the question that everybody wants to ask him, right? I just asked him that a little bit ago. How reliable is that deployment schedule, right? Was anybody thinking that? And I looked at that chart that was on the screen, and it was like, man, there's a lot of machines up there. There's like hundreds of thousands if you did a little bit of quick math there. And my first thought was, wow, if we get even just a small percentage of all those machines delivered, there's going to be a lot of compliance issues. But that's not our problem, right? We just go build. And if someone says, well, what's your paycheck? We might be able to actually say, well, hey, we're actually earning money here with these machines, and that'll be fun. We had a saying way back when in another company that I was working for a long time, if you're not getting letters from compliance, you're not in the business. Goes back to what Chuck said a little bit earlier, so it's true. So, we're in the right place at the right time. iHub Global is just getting going. Day one, all of us are very blessed to be in this position. And, I would just remind everybody that there are so many people out there that don't know what is going on. They haven't heard about this yet. I have a lot of friends in the room here that I haven't seen in decades. And, I had to razz them all because they didn't call me. And you don't want to be in that position. You want to make sure that you told everybody about iHub Global so that they don't miss it. And then happy days are here again. Thanks, everybody.
Real good. Thank you, John.
All right. So I hope you're getting a sense of what it really means to be in the right place at the right time, because that's precisely where you are today. Now, one of the things I love about this industry, this crazy network, direct sales, home-based business space, whatever you want to call it, as Eric Worre was saying earlier, and really, it has to do with developing relationships and meeting people that we never would have encountered typically in the course of normal activities. I mean, Dr. Tunis is a great example there. when people are going about their world, their careers, the things that they're doing, they usually have an orbit that they were around, the certain influences and spheres that are related to that. And you jump into something like this, and all of a sudden, you're finding yourself into all kinds of other orbs as a result of different common denominators that are outside of what we're used to. And so I love that aspect of it. And part of that is meeting people in this industry. And there's a couple, I mean, actually, some of you folks I'm just really meeting for the first time. But Sean and Mary Kay, we've never met before. I mean, I've been in this industry for like forever, 40 plus years or so. But you think that you've kind of met most of the folks, but most of these incredible people here, you know, it's amazing that we've never had an opportunity to interact with. So I'm really, really happy of the quality of the people. But it isn't just these folks here on stage. It's you folks out there watching wherever you are on Zoom, sitting in here. I mean, this is really extraordinary, the quality of the people that are being magnetized to this opportunity. And that speaks worlds of what this really represents. But I'd like to have Mary Kay, if you can start off here and, you know, share a little bit about maybe what's touched you today and where you feel about, or what you think about where we are right now.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Yes, like you said, my name is Mary Kay. A little bit about my background. I lived the Amish lifestyle. And so that's right. I rode the horse and buggy. I had no power. We had gas lanterns. But as you can tell, I now live the English lifestyle, as they would say. But I have a question I want to ask you today. If you give me $15 or $20 and I hand you back $100 or $40, how many times would you give me $20? Think about that. That's right. That's right, as many times as you can. But my passion is children. It's always been, ever since I've been a little kid. Every time a family would come with little children to our house, or we'd go to church, and there was little babies there, I would go to my mom and I'd say, can we not just adopt these little babies? She said, no, we can't. But so I was really excited to see that this company had Viva Kids. And I had the opportunity to go to Bangladesh before all this craziness and interact with some of them children. And when we went to the schools, we took them pens and tablets. And before we gave it to them, they would say, we'll do whatever you want us for one pencil. You know, they'd get in front of us, they'd sing for us, they'd dance for us, whatever. They were excited to receive one pencil. That is amazing. And then after we did all that, we were getting ready to leave. Someone tapped me on my back, and I turned around, and this little girl said, will you be my friend? Until you experience that, you don't understand what it is. So I'm really excited to join the Viva Kids and go on every mission that they have. Thank you.
How about that? It was awesome. Viva Kids is going to be a great experience for anybody that participates, because it just is. You can't know it until you experience something like Mary Kay just talked about. But I've got a question for you. How would you like to be standing right here on this stage, one of these VIPs or one of these people in the next council, and look at the screen back here and recognize most of the people on your team? That's what we're doing. We're sitting here talking, probably being rude about it, but we're sitting here talking about there's this person and there's this person. I can start waving to them. It's pretty cool, isn't it? And then you turn around the VIP council and there's a couple of those guys on your team too. Would that be good? That's right there for you. It's just an inch away. So what did you enjoy from today? Here's what I took away. Because today's number one, right? It all starts today, right? Today's the day. Say yes. Yes, okay. I'm not up here alone, I hope. You guys got this. So what we're doing today will alter the course of so many people's lives. Hope long delayed makes the heart sick, right? So you provide hope to people. That's what we're doing here. So now we take a look at today. I don't know where Javier is. He's probably going to faint when I say this. But one of the most valuable things I took away today was the compliance discussion. Because we used to do consulting for companies, startup companies, Mary Kay and I did. And one of the things that I always look for or provide advice to is establish a solid, very, very well-educated compliance department. Because without that, you will cease to exist very soon, right? Y'all got that? So, I mean, it's going to be tough digesting some of the stuff he throws at us. Trust me, we just tried to put a comp plan document together. It took us 6 months because we had to keep going back and forth to compliance. Not really, not quite that bad, but it was almost that bad. And then John Cini had to edit it for me because I can't spell. And that took another forever. But anyway, it's been so fun putting this together. A lot of great stuff going on today. Man, I just want to encourage everybody that, you know, Viva Kids, register, sponsor a child. It's going to be a couple of tokens a month, you know, and you'll alter the course of those people's lives forever. But my mentor, Mr. E. James Rohn, says, I'm sorry, I've been losing anybody else losing their voice like I am, talking for 2.5 days? But he says when one person speaks and another person listens, both lives have the chance to be transformed. That's what's happening here today. You go to Viva Kids, your life will be transformed as much as theirs, I assure you. Now, I'm not working for them. I'm just going. We're in, okay? I'm just trying to encourage you to experience the same thing. So, yeah, a lot of great stuff going on today, man. And I got to tell you what, I love what Mary Kay. Does anybody love what she just said? You hand me $15, I hand you back 40. How many times do you want to do that? That's the lease program. Or something like that, okay? I don't know the exact details yet, but it's not far off. So we're going to have a great time together. I'm glad all you are here. You're the pioneers. You're in front of it. You're in the jungle. Another benefit of chopping through the jungle, you look like the Incredible Hulk on the other side. You will have the rhino skin. You'll be incredible because you won't be the person you started with, okay? So that's cool stuff too. So with that, anything else?
Here we are. So, real quick, guys. 15 months, here we are today. Rick and Ilya and Eric and John Krim and all the other guys, the Jord Capital guys, having a chance to meet them. This is just extraordinary where we are right now. But where are we? When are we? We're on day one. Day one. I want everybody to embed that process and thought into your heart because here we are. Whatever happened in the process of getting here, we are here and we're moving forward and we're going to move forward amazingly. Amazingly. That deployment board, those numbers, I'll tell you what, that's just the beginning. You heard what they said about millions of units around the world. We're just in the beginning stages of this. Whether it's 3 years, 5 years, whatever it takes, the question is, how much of a piece of that do you want to have for your families and generations? That's what we got at stake right now. So everybody, I want you all to say, and everybody, if you could also tune in on this, I want you to recognize where we are today. Day one. Day one. Day one. Thank you very much, everybody.
Hey guys, great panel, great information. I hope that you got a lot out of, I certainly did. But when Eric Worre was up here earlier, he talked about thinking bigger, right? Thinking bigger. And You know, that's always been my motto. I know we're going to deploy 1 million units in 2022. Who's up for it? 1 million units in 2022, right? I've watched companies, I don't know if you guys follow it, but I follow a little thing called the Inc. 5000, right? And I look at the companies that make it to the #1 slot and how long it took those companies to get to $1 billion in sales. I'm telling you guys, we are on track to set some amazing records because of where we're at timing wise. And there couldn't be a better guy to lead us, direct us, guide us, and do all the things that he does. You know, we all have certain attributes, right? We all have certain things. We all have a long coat, if you will. And his long coat is the ability to gather people and get things moving in the right direction. And I'm so glad that I reached out to Rick and said, hey, what do you think about this crazy idea? Because there's not anybody better that we could have that I trust, that you will trust as well as we move forward. So I'd like to let you hear from my partner, our CEO, as we close out this first launch, right? The launch of iHub Global. So with that, Mr. Rick Cotton.
Thank you, guys. Listen, guys, our day has come to a conclusion here today, but I am super, super excited. Hopefully you guys are. We've got a lot of follow-up sessions. Our breakouts are this week, okay? So register for those webinars. I know, how many VIPs are here? Raise your hand. Okay, you guys want to take one of these outdoor Bobcats home with you, right? All right. So when we close here, not yet, just give me a little more time because we're going to give away a few more things here. You guys are going to go out there and see some of our staff out there and sign up so you can pick one of those up tonight, okay? You got to sign up. We'll provision those for you, and you guys can take one home. Now, what I didn't tell you on the deployment board is there's several thousand more miners coming this year, too. Okay, we have a lot more miners coming in this year, but the big numbers start in January. And so we're really excited about that. So you guys start to hone in on that lease program or the free model with the deposit, either one. You guys can go either direction, but they're both going to include an antenna, okay, and you're going to lock in your spot on that deployment board. I was going to get the names. We've already got several people on that already. I was going to get the 00001, but I'm not going to do it because I'm not sure who it is. So, but we're excited, guys. Thank you so much. Leadership. Thank you. We could have had a lot of VIPs up here sharing today. You guys did a tremendous job. Let's give it a hand together for our leaders. Awesome. And tonight we're going to cut loose a little bit, okay? We got rewards tonight. We're going to recognize a lot of you guys. Chuck's putting that together. We've got a DJ. We got food. We got drinks. We're going to have a lot of fun at the Sky Lounge. So, but before we do that and do our final announcements, I want to bring my assistant, Miss Stephanie, back up here. Let's put it together for Stephanie. Eric T. Hey. You know, I've built a lot of teams, and I can say this wholeheartedly, this is the best team I've ever worked with, okay? Really, from the field leadership to our corporate team, to our partners, our capital partners, to our new IoT solution partners, to our manufacturers. We have an incredible team that's building here, guys. We really do. A couple guys behind the scene that don't like to get up here, but our founders and executives, my right-hand man, Ilya, come on up here, Ilya. Come on. Ken Kovic. He's going to kill me later, but hey, listen, every great company, man, my mentor said to me a long time ago, you get the best lawyers, you get the best accountant, the best bean counters, man, but he's so much more than that. He's my right hand. So Mr. John Krim, he's been with me for years. John, love you, John. So we'll let you guys give away, go get with Stephanie. Go ahead, give these last couple miners away. So let's give a couple more hot spots away as we close out. We'll grab which one you want to give away? Mandy Cook.
Vicky Connolly.
Hey. Go give it to him. You guys get up there and get a picture with Vicky. Both of you.
My future bride, paparazzi all around me, trying to catch my life. What they don't know isn't gonna matter, cause the better parts of me ain't gonna catch you with a lens. But the fact that I'm created with a purpose that is greater than the status that the world is trying to land. But I'm backstage, hot air day, all access, non-airway, fly first class. See you
John up here,
God is so good, nah man, God great. And there'll never be a time that you wait in line. He already paid the cover, it's about time.
Flores from Mexico.
He just walked in the door.
All right, guys. Stephanie's got a few announcements for you guys. Again, VIPs in the front, guys, and we'll see you at the party tonight, all right? God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, we will see you all at the Skyfall Lounge at the top of the Delano Hotel at 7 p.m. Join us for appetizers, drinks, music, fun.